make-believe, make-believe our lips are blending.
This is a special edition of our Saturday session because it features two of America's greatest voices. Today is the 100th anniversary of Frank Sinatra's birth, and for the occasion, Tony Bennett, Frank's longtime friend, is here to honor Old Blue Eyes. He'll perform in just a moment, but first we spoke with Tony about Sinatra's influence on his career. When you first heard Sinatra, what did you hear in his voice?
I heard that no one did it better. He's just a gorgeous singer. Understood the art of intimate singing. Night and day.
Frank Sinatra had already been making Bobby Soxer's swoon for over a decade when Tony Bennett's first single, Because of You, soared to #1 in 1951.
Because of you, there's a song in my heart.
Bennett, who was born Anthony Benedetto in Astoria, Queens in New York, couldn't help but admire the older Italian-American singer from across the river in Hoboken, New Jersey. Did you see him at the Paramount?
I did. I had a couple of hit records when I first started with Because of You and Cold, Cold Heart.
That early success earned Bennett the gig as host of a summer replacement series for the Perry Como Show in 1956.
But it was left with a bare stage and a very small orchestra and no big guest stars. So I didn't know what to do. So I just took a chance and I went backstage at the Paramount Theater when Sinatra was there, doing 4 shows a day. And he had me come up to his room and he said, "What is it, kid?" He always, to the day he died, he called me kid. You know? And I told him my problem. I said I was very nervous, and right away he gave me the best singing lesson I ever had in my life. He said, "You have to understand that the public, when they come in to see you, they adore you. So they're your friends, they're not your enemies. If you look a little frightened on the stage," he said, "they'll come up and help you out." So he taught me that the audience are friends, they're not enemies.
Right, they're behind you.
They're all, once they come to see you, they're there for you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a great lesson and a great friendship that lasted through the years.
Sinatra would pay him the ultimate compliment in a profile in Life magazine in 1965, saying, "For my money, Tony Bennett's the best in the business." What did that quote mean to you?
Well, what it did, it changed my whole career. All his fans came to see me. And actually, after that quote, I've been sold out my whole career through all the years.
But you were a pretty big star then in your own right.
Yeah, but to get endorsed by the master, you know, he was my biggest influence. He and Ella Fitzgerald and Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
Those were my big influence.
Mm-hmm. That for you, that was the best endorsement you could get.
You couldn't get better.
Though Bennett was never part of Sinatra's Rat Pack, the two masters performed together a number of times over the years. Here on the ABC special, Sinatra and Friends, in 1977. Sometimes when you have two very distinctive singers, it's hard for them to do a duet. I mean, did you find that you fit?
No, it's easier.
Is it?
The only trouble is a lot of singers will imitate Sinatra.
Yeah.
And by doing that, they take the loss, you know, because Sinatra's Sinatra, and so you have to just be yourself.
Tony's going to come on now, and he's going to tear the seats out of the place for you, because he's my man, this cat. Mr. Tony Bennett, thank you very much.
Bennett, now 89, has done his part to make sure Sinatra is remembered. In 2001, he and his wife Susan founded a high school for young artists in Queens to honor Old Blue Eyes.
Because he was such a great friend, we decided, my wife and I decided to call it the Sinatra School.
He was very generous to you.
Very. He was wonderful to me. And he stayed that way my whole career, and to this day he was my best friend.